Let me pour my phony Negroni
Okay,
special glass. Just
I'm
okay.
gonna wait to open mine. I'm gonna do it live.
Yeah,
I
go
mean,
for it.
we are live right now,
Yeah,
but
let's
Actually, I
go.
haven't looked at the bottle recently. It's a very nice color. I love the
love it
custom bottle.
so
Yeah,
it's
I do
so
too.
nice.
I
Absolutely.
wonder if that's a custom bottle or if they were able to source that because I've seen a couple of other products in that, but like not a lot.
Super
I
unique. It's very,
I
very
feel like there are other bottles for their, like, bitter, the Inferno bitter, they're very designed like this, but then they have, like, a pattern on them, so I'm guessing that most of their bottles are custom. What do you have, Robert?
A Peroni. So not a phony Negroni. This is a Peroni.
Oh,
Oh,
it
Peroni.
It's
rhymes
got Sean as well.
and it rhymes.
Yeah.
And if you
Okay.
wanted a rhyming beverage, I'm here for that too.
I will have to taste yours, so I will try.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Well, Haley, what do you think about getting started? So, hi everyone. I'm Laura. I'm booze free. I'm here with my co-host,
Hi, guys. I'm Haley. I'm a mindful drinker.
and we're
We're NA Dossier.
Dossier.
Yeah. This is
So
a new
welcome.
project we've started. We're super excited about it. We've been talking about it for a long time. So we did our last episode on Gia. We talked about the
Mhm.
design community of Gia, the tasting of
Okay.
Gia, and everyone's tried Gia. And today we're talking about Phony Negroni.
Phony Negroni available in a can or one of the gorgeous bottles. I mean, let's just talk about that
Wow.
bottle for a second.
Okay, we'll start there.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
I'm a branding gal,
mm,
do my brand strategy, brand design for a lot of CPG brands. So when I see a package design that looks like Phony Negroni, I get very excited. And shout out to my client, Brittany from White Tea. The way that I was introduced to Phony Negroni is that she was drinking one on our brand call. And I said, "What are you drinking? I don't care what it is. I need it." And she told me it was Phony Negroni. And she told me that she liked the taste of the Phony Negroni to an actual Negroni. So I got it, looking at the package design. Love
mhm.
I've loved this metallic sort of,
Would carry
green.
over into the
Yeah,
can. So there's continuity there no matter what kind of receptacle you're having it in.
right, and I think that if you go to the, St. Agrestis website, you'll see all of their bottles are kind of in the shape. They have some canned stuff, they also have the cardboard, like, I think they have the Phony Negroni in the cardboard, or maybe that's the regular Negroni.
Perfect. Perfect. I mean,
Um,
look at the color too. It's just absolutely
yeah.
stunning.
Which is funny because it's kind of the same we talked about Gia's color, which is that
Yep.
really rich jewel tone. So it's funny to
Agree.
me, and I mean, their bottle lends itself to the product, right? Like, we can see
Mhm.
through because it's so beautiful, the color. It's really nice. I also wanna talk well, since I have the bottle, their logo's here, so the St. Agrestis logo, which I think is interesting how they pair this sort of traditional illustration steel type logo with this very groovy,
Wow.
um, design. Like, it's kind of a lot of times we'll see brands follow one style, and I feel like they have that classic seal, but then they have this really fun, groovy style. I'll also open mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. You know how you mentioned that your client Brittany was drinking a phony Negroni and it got your attention immediately.
great.
Um, I have to shout out to Julia Bainbridge, author of Good Drinks, one of the sort of preeminent non-alc recipe books out there. And I'm pretty sure I heard of both Gia and Saint Agrestis, specifically the phony Negroni through Julia. She's just a tastemaker. She knows everything. So if she ever watches this, thank you. Thank you, Julia, for that. And by the way, Saint Agrestis, the cool thing about them that I thought would be really interesting to mention is that they have sort of a full suite of products um, on the proof spectrum. So they've got like full proof, low proof, and no proof, and they also have another non-alc product called the Falso Amaro, which I've not been able to get my hands on yet, but I'm sure is just as tasty. So, um, should we do a quick cheers just so that we can
Yes. Cheers, everybody.
cheers? Yeah.
Um, I also will you just note or mention their line? I liked how they have as a mindful drinker, they have NA and then alcohol
Mhm.
option. And I think it's interesting because usually brands are like, "Hey, we are NA," or
Mhm.
"Hey, we sell wine and we're an alcohol brand." And they kind of balance both, and I think that's interesting.
It's one of the well, certainly not the only, but it's one of the sort of cult favorites out there. It's definitely a cult favorite that is doing both really well. And it's great because, for the mindful drinkers like you, Haley, you can get, if you wanted, one of their Negronis, like a pack of their Negronis and a pack of their phony Negronis, and you can have them on hand just for you. Or it's also great for hosting. You can definitely bring
Totally.
either or, but it's just, I love when a company has options for everyone. That really sort of speaks to inclusive hospitality. And I think
Mhm.
the future of where we're going, for
Yeah.
sure.
I love that if you do have guests over, you could have they both look beautiful, right? It's not like you have a Negroni for some people and then some orange juice for the NA drinkers. Like there
Right.
is really it's special for everybody and everyone can be included whether they're drinking that day or not.
Mhm.
Um, should we talk about the tasting of it? I mean,
Yeah.
I love, love, love Campari. So for me, this is lovely. Like I love it.
Mhm.
And why I love it is that it's sippable versus some other NA brands where it's like you're drinking overpriced juice. Let's be honest. You're like,
Yeah.
this tastes like juice and I paid $60 for it. It came in a cool bottle, tastes like
Mhm.
juice.
Yeah.
Phony Negroni has that Campari herbal sippable taste. Like you're not gonna just pound it.
You
The
could
lack
though,
of there.
and I have, but you don't
I
have
know
to.
you you could.
I mean, I drank that bottle of Gia in like 2 days.
Well, I want to say yeah, well, Dia is sippable, but I feel like it's more you can drink it faster.
Eh. Well,
I
the
don't
thing
know.
that's really great about the phony Negroni, and let's just talk about a Negroni for a second. By the way, when I was in my drinking days, I did not drink anything fancy. I did not have any kind of connoisseurship of booze. I drank whatever was cheapest and would get me drunk because I was young and not discerning over sort of taste. So I become much more of a connoisseur drinker in my non-drinking days. And I didn't really have anything to compare this to. I've never had a Campari before. I'd never had any kind of like bitters or aperitifs or digestifs or anything. So I had to educate myself that way. I love bitter. I love bitter so much, but I also love sweet. So I think they do a really, really great balance here. I would be interested to know if in any future formulations there might be a little bit dialing back of the sugar content, but as it is now, I mean, it's truly a delightful beverage. The color makes it even more enticing because you taste with as we talked about in our Gia episode, like we taste with our eyes as well. We're not just tasting with our mouths and also our noses. So, you can inhale. And a couple of things that I thought I would mention as sort of the resident world alcohol free judge here, are a couple of things that you can do to sort of amp up your Negroni experience.
Mhm.
Again, never having had a Negroni before, I didn't really know what was up. But most traditional Negronis are served with an orange peel.
Mm.
So I bought this baby at Whole Foods just for this episode.
But I
I
don't have
thought I thought I'm gonna have time to peel it, and I didn't. So you can peel it, and the great thing about the orange peel is that like there's so many oils that are expressed through the peel. So like you take the peel and sort of like rub it around the rim of the glass, and then just plop it on top, and then just the aromas. Another thing, if you're too lazy for that, and or don't have a fancy orange on hand, you can get these fancy alcohol-free bitters. All the Bitter is one of my absolute favorite brands. They've got a bunch of different completely alcohol-free bitters that go really well with anything from like
Mhm.
club soda to a cocktail to beer to wine or whatever. And I have these orange ones that are really great if you wanted to like amp it up even more and you like the orange expression to go with your Negroni. So there are a couple of different ways you can skin the cat here, or you can just have it as it's intended, which is a totally delightful drinking experience. Yeah. I'm curious, Haley, because you've had Negronis with booze before. And I'm just curious to see how it like compares for you.
Um,
It's
well,
free.
the biggest thing about I don't love Negronis that much, but I love Campari, so that really, really
Okay.
herbal taste, which actually a lot of people I've had friends taste the Phony Negroni and they're like, "Ooh, it tastes like medicine." But if you like Campari, you want that really, really herbal taste. So I
Mhm.
like it. I agree with Brittany. She said the Phony Negroni is better than Negronis. I think that too. I'll take Campari, but I think a Negroni has gin in it a lot of
Yep.
times. And I okay,
And this
and I
the sort of the cocktail of the summer or last summer or whatever was like the Sabagliato.
That
which
was like
which
trending.
which subs the gin for champagne. So you could do
Mm,
like a non-alc champagne if you wanted to. I haven't
mm.
tried it yet, but I want to.
Yeah, that would be good. I love the taste of it, so I think it's better than a Negroni myself. I'm curious to try St. Agrestis' other products, their regular Negroni, like, I'll probably order that to try it. But I do also wanna note this, pretty small bottle is 2 servings. Um,
Oh, for real?
44
That's what
calories
it
for
will
1
though.
serving. So, like you said, we talked about, like, it is a bit higher in sugar and stuff than other NA brands, but, like, that could be a problem or not because you're gonna have one of these on a night out or, with your
This one is the same amount. It's what, 9, sorry, it's 12 ounces or no? No, it's 6.8 fluid ounces. How many is yours?
6.8.
And this one says serving size is 1 bottle, 90
And how
calories.
many calories?
90, same
Oh, that
amount
makes
as
yeah.
yours.
So this is 44, yeah.
So you
It's
know what? You can have either or, but again, I think it's not as many empty calories as the booze alternative, but I don't know.
right.
I think it's
It's
something else.
also
Yeah.
and it's a treat, you're not just gonna drink these every day when you wake up, although it is 10 a.m. in Denver, 10:30, and
Yeah. It's
I haven't had
12:30
breakfast,
here. I mean, it's
coffee,
not
and
fancy.
on a Negroni.
Yeah, I've got my
I did read on the site that it's lightly carbonated, which you can't
mhm,
see here, but they wanted to mimic that alcohol, like, sting, I guess, or that
mhm,
feeling, so I just wanted to note that as well. Um, we talk a lot about being honest with our reviews and we, all we had to do was praise Gia last time, and then Phony Negroni, we have so much praise for Phony Negroni,
mhm.
but I think in some ways there can be some improvements. You mentioned maybe lowering the sugar a bit for some people. For
Yeah.
me, the bottles are immaculately beautiful. I mean, this one's not even the prettiest one. They have some with, like, custom glasswork. Those are beautiful, but I'm finding that they're not their photography is good in some instances, but it's few and far between. If you go to
Mhm.
their Instagram, it's mostly just bottles, maybe by some user generated content,
Yeah.
holding the bottle. I would love to see more storytelling behind this
Mhm.
brand. A lot of their products, if not all, are based on like Italian cocktails and Italy sort of, and I would love to see that coming through. Like I said, some of the photos are great, but they really leave a lot of room for, like, bringing us into this world, and that's, one of the biggest
There
parts of
could
branding.
definitely yeah,
Yeah.
there
So
could
I think
definitely be more of that.
yeah, I would love to see, the story and, you know, we talked a bit about, like, what song would go with Gia, and I have a song today that would go
No, I should always
my
have a song with me.
do you have a song on deck? You
No,
you
but
got
it's
it?
it's another one of these, like, bossa nova feels to me, it's just
Yeah.
it's that Italian moment. It could also lend itself really well to, like, a Greek beach. It's just very Mediterranean.
Yeah, it
Um,
is.
it would be a cop out for me to say "Girl from Ipanema" again, so I would
Mm,
have to come
I
up with
know.
different, but, I what's your song?
So I'm not gonna go, Mediterranean, Italian. I'm gonna go "Oogum Boogum" by Brenton Wood.
That's
Anyone know that song? The
Brent
lyrics are lit
Brendan Wood from, like, the '60s? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah, that's a
that's
good
my and I would play it on my computer, but I'm not sure if Zoom will pick it up.
there might be yeah, and there also might be, copyright issues.
Right.
Fun. But we
Always.
could do our own little, like, Spotify
I'll
playlist
just
of our
I'll
picks.
just sing you guys the song, okay?
Yeah, well, I know
I'm
exactly what
gonna
you're
sing
talking about.
Yeah, it's a great song. But it has that groovy sort of happy sort of feel, and I think that's Saint Agrestis and, like I said, there's room for more of that in their branding, and their storytelling too. I think they have minimal storytelling through copy. I think they could really
Yeah.
illustrate more and even to possibly talk about why do they offer alcohol and non-alcoholic options. Most
Mhm.
brands don't. So I think maybe highlighting how they want everyone to feel welcome or, whatever their stance is, I think talking about that more
There's
with
a
the
huge
community.
opportunity there. I know that for sure, and I feel grateful that, like, I talked a little bit to, I think it's 2 brothers that run the ship over there at St. Augustus, and I featured them on Zero Proof Nation probably last year or maybe a year and a half ago. So, like, they are involved with the community a little bit, but I think there could be a lot more sort of bringing all of the there's a huge cult following for this. So there really is a larger opportunity. Um, there's a larger, so I think it's called Ugum Boogum, Robert, by
Yeah.
Benton Wood. Yep. So we're just answering a question in the chat, everyone. Haley's choice of song is Ugum Boogum by Bretton Wood. And I think mine, quick pin in what I was just saying. I was just thinking of the Austin Powers theme song. Do, 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 do,
Oh my
do,
gosh. That's
because
so
of-
funny.
but yeah, I mean, there's a ton of people out there that love these
Right.
products, whether they have booze in them or not, and so there could be some more sort of cohesion between the product itself um and the people who love it. But um I do know that they're at a bunch of different non-alcoholic bottle shops across the country, as well as being able to order directly through the website. It'd be great to see more like St. Agrestis activations
Mhm.
at some of the bottle shops so that people can learn a little bit more about the product and if it fits in. It's great for a dinner party. I mean, it's also great for like a 12:30 p.m. Zoom call on a Friday. There's
Mhm.
no consequences except for maybe just, a little bit of sugar, but
Yeah.
I eat a lot of chocolate, so that's sugar.
Maybe out. I also want to note that Phony Negroni was named the world's best non-alcoholic cocktail again. Laura sent me this email 2022 and 2023. So that's pretty awesome for them and definitely
Wow.
worth a try if you haven't tried it.
Congrats to our friends at St. Agrestis. I would really, really love to try their Falso Amaro, and I wonder if the Amaro is. I've had the Pathfinder, which I think could be another cool brand we could bring on here. But that is an Amaro type beverage, very medicinal, very herbal. And the first time I tried that, we can talk about that later. But I wasn't expecting it because I didn't have anything to compare it to. So they do bitter things really well. Going back to St. Agrestis, and um, yeah, it would be neat to sort of see a little bit more weaving of like a storyline with the community. But the product itself is stellar. It's so
Mhm.
good. It's
It
one of
is.
the like top tier cocktail offerings that you can give to someone.
Yeah. I think I would love to get it as a gift too. You give someone a bottle of wine, like a
Yeah.
little plaque of Phony Negroni would be a perfect gift.
And I use my I kept one of the bottles because it's just so stunning. I have a little sort of zero proof flower shop over here at my in my bar carts. I use Michael's fake flowers because you can't keep a real flower alive for very long. But I have like a little flower in one of my Phony Negroni bottles. It's just so beautiful. You have to use that, like repurpose it somehow, you know?
Totally. Totally. And I think that's what brands like this want because we're going back to Gia, they have those labels that I found out later, they can be used to relabel the bottle and put whatever you want in it. And so I
Mhm.
think that people are leaning into that and it's memorable. You remember Phony Negroni or Gia if the bottle's sitting in your house, you'll order it again. Like it is a
Yeah.
whole experience to have a really nice package design like that.
So since this is an interesting time that we are having today with potential audience participation, and maybe this is something we do. Like, no, I'm getting a no. I'm wondering, Robert, have you tried Phony Negroni yet?
First time caller, long time listener. But we're talking about it, I'm jumping on the website trying to look it up and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
definitely willing to try.
Nice, but you're drinking a whining beverage, which is what again?
Well, once again, because I was home, Peroni, they make a alcoholic and an NA brand,
Yeah.
and it tastes very good. I'll tell you that. But once again, it's Friday, so you've given me a reason to want to go out and get a little Phony Negroni.
Yeah. But isn't it great? You can drink an NA beer at your desk. And
Well, I only did it for the two of you, and of
Okay.
course Charlotte and Aaron.
Yeah.
But yes, it is. It is pretty good. And honestly, as you were talking, I was thinking to myself, "Wow, this really is the official summer kind of kickoff
Yeah.
Mhm.
thing." And then when you were talking about the orange bitters, all I could think of was maybe around the rim of the glass with a little Phony Negroni on the ice. And yeah, non-ice out.
And you can pop these into your beer too. They work really well with everything. Maybe it's just me and that's okay too, but I drink NA beer or anything all day long, every day. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm like not losing as much weight as I thought, because when you're
Stop.
like 2 beers and like a phony Negroni and then a glass of wine, and I drink a lot of water every day. Stay hydrated, y'all. But yeah, I drink a lot of product throughout the day. I have to, because I have a lot of it and I give so much away, and
It's
I
your
still
job.
get rid of a lot of it. Every few months I have to dump expired things down the sink, which like breaks my heart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Great. Well, this was a good chat.
Yeah.
This that like,
I'm gonna
yeah.
mute.
Thank you guys for coming. Sorry about our technical difficulties. We're gonna figure this out.
Totally.
Next episode, I will be traveling, so it's kind of a mystery episode. I'm gonna be in Europe, so I'm gonna be searching to see, are there any good NA options in like London? I'll be in London. I know Laura went and judged the what was it called?
The World Alcohol Free Awards, the
In
inaugural
London.
World Alcohol Free Awards. They'll be back next year as well. There's a lot in London. There's a lot all over Europe. You'll be so happy to see, as a mindful drinker, that you
Great.
can have options galore.
Perfect. So our next one will be a mystery of what will
Great.
Haley be drinking. We don't know. And then
Yeah, see Laura's map since Charlotte.
oh yes,
Right.
yes, I
Almost
will.
done. Almost done. Man, taken me months and months. Thanks, Charlotte. Yep. It's actually quite useful. And some people have used it for travel, which is really one of the main reasons why I wanted to create it, so people can choose a road trip, or if they're going overseas, they can find where there are bottle shops or bars or whatever. And then check out, if you're going to be in London, also use the app Better Without.
Okay.
They've got London built out because that's where they started, and you can find bars and shops where you can find any kind of NA products. It's a very robust app. Yeah.
Sweet.
So looking forward to our mystery product, and we'll figure out this tech stuff as we go along. Anyone want to be a volunteer producer? We won't say no.
Thank you, person.
Yeah, but have a fabulous, fabulous Friday, and we'll see you soon.